do better? Would you take such a chance with love? Yeah, I took a trip to Atlanta, you know the college lit. Wrote the realest shit ever, so she'll acknowledge it. I break it down like Jaden Music, the cosmetics. These industry niggas is fake, I'm talking prosthetics. Not the type that will purposely wanna cause headaches. I'm in a rush sometimes, paramedics. I was holding it back, I was always capable. She wanna quote me on issues that's non-debatable. I ain't need a whole lot, and I got my table full.
When you hear the words child support, what comes to your mind?
The first thing that will come to my mind is child support. Is that your child? And you have to support your child at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's trials and tribulations that come along with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I done been in the best of both worlds. I love all my kids, mind you, but it's certain times that come and then like you can't get it like that. Then at the end of the day, they gonna take it from you no matter what. I don't care if I couldn't afford to give them that money, they gonna get theirs no matter what. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And all my babies, I got babies. Like I got 8 babies, you know what I'm saying? 35, 8 babies.
What comes to your mind?
Support for the child.
Okay.
Common sense, I guess.
Is it really support for the child or
yes, it's support for the child's household. It's support for that child to have lights on, water on, gas on, pay rent, clothes on their back, food in their mouths, plus many other things. If your child's in sports or extracurricular activities or anything, it's support for that child to have a successful life.
What comes to your mind?
Drama, controversial, anger, a lot of different things come to my mind when I hear that word.
Child support, money. First thing come to mind is money, just because obviously, like, that's what it is. Like, ain't no CSEA. You know, the letters that come and like, even if it's just, you know, they just letting you know where you stand with them money wise. I used to get mad as hell, dog, just to see the letters. Like, ain't got no business getting these letters.
No, I definitely feel it.
Got no business even dealing with them people, period.
When you hear the words child support, what comes to your mind?
Basically, I just think about the means to take care of the child or children involved, basically in a failed relationship. I mean, generally, you're not paying child support when you're in a good relationship or a relationship that's still going on. You know, usually you're not together, so.
Comes to my mind is payment for your child, help, you know, to the opposite parent.
The minute that I feel like she found out he was actually mine, our whole relationship changed, and I really ain't cared for her since then. You know, we never had no kind of relationship, and like my mom helped out a lot with my oldest, so she pretty much, you know, she deal with her and I deal with her when it come to, you know, that.
That's the best way to have the communication between that.
Yeah, because
child's parent then, huh?
That's the only kid that I'm on child support for.
How is your relationship with each mother of your children?
I'm gonna say it's all right. Out of my 4 baby moms, 2 of them is good. 2 of them, the relationships is real good. You know what I'm saying? Like, no problems at all. You know what I'm saying? And that would be my baby mom that had 3 kids by me and one that has 2 by me. It's great. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no problems. But I got one that I don't even get to see my kids. I know I hate to say that, even on camera. I hate to say it, but that's just is what it is. She hates me.
So she's scorned, is what you're trying to say, or?
I say she's scorned, and Yeah, I'm gonna say she's scorned, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the way she was talking, I wasn't ready for none of that. But at the end of the day, I still did what I did. And then we had 2 babies out of it. Like as far as marriage and all that, I wasn't ready for none of that. But she was talking that, and then like me, gassing it up. I had 2 babies out of it. Then at the end of the day, like right now, you know what I'm saying? They hate me to say this, but I don't even get to see my kids like them. My 2 right there, I don't even get to see them like that. Rarely, it's rare.
And
It's rare.
Not by choice. That's because she.
It's not by choice. That's on her. Yeah, that's all on her. You know what I'm saying? That's rare.
It's getting better. Comes with time, I guess. It used to be terrible. We used to go months without hearing from him or talking to him. But it's a lot better. We're almost on a like every other day communication basis. We call when needed, things like that. It's got a lot better.
With my son's father, there is absolutely no communication. Absolutely not. I haven't spoken to him in years. I don't know where he's at the moment. Last time I knew, he was in Mississippi. I have no idea where he's at. My daughter's father, we have been in communication. We talk regular.
All my children are grown except 2 right now. But I have had custody of my older children at some point.
Okay. Give me an example of like a normal day or a normal routine.
Well, you know what? Before I totally got custody of my small child, my normal day with my kids would be and this is just, because I grew. I might see them today. I might not see them for 2 or 3 days. If they called, I would drop off money. I was a provider type of parent. But at the time he was 6 years old, he came and he moved in with me and he lived with me. I became a full-time parent, and I have to say that I respect any mother or father that's doing it by themselves fully. I would get up in the morning. Well, it'll start at nighttime. I get him ready for school. I got to feed him. We do homework, sleep. I get him up in the morning, get him ready for school, take him to school. Then all along that I'm coming to work. If he has a delay, I have to leave work, take him to school, or he comes down here with me. He basically was living here with me until he got big enough to be at home by himself. But then when he got big enough to be at home by himself, well, I employed him at the barbershop. So my typical day at some point it revolved around my son, But before, I was just the type of parent that was the provider. I provided with everything, but I didn't know about the nourishment. I didn't know about what it takes to wash clothes, fold clothes. I mean, do everything. Some men we don't know about that until it's placed upon you.
It's definitely a lot that comes with it. Even the mental aspect, there's no days off.
Nah, there's no such thing as days off, but when you don't live in the house with your child, you have the luxury of having days off. In a sense, some men we deal with, and I was once like that, we deal with our kids when we want to. Not in that exact term when we want to, but he doesn't live with me, so what do I got to do? We know mom has him or them, and it's going to be taken care of. Mom will call me if she needs me, But no, I became a full-time parent, and it's different. Now I can see how some of the mothers feel.
Well, now that my daughter is older, it's a little bit more easy. I will say that. Before, obviously I couldn't leave her at home by herself. So I always had to find a sitter, make sure she could get to point A to point B. Like I said, I was working 2 jobs at one point in time, so I would work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., get home, get my daughter together for school or daycare, or whatever, take her to daycare, sleep for a few hours, get back up, get her settled and ready for the next day, and then I would go to my second job. So now it's more routine for us because we're kind of on the same schedule. I work the same time, same hours. She goes to school. During the summer, it's a little difficult, but as of right now, we work the same hours. She goes to school the same hours. I work the same hours. So it works out. We get up, we get ready. She lays her clothes out for school the night before. So we get up, brush her teeth, wash her face, take her vitamins. She goes to school. I go to work. We come home, we sit down, we do homework, or she goes from school to extracurricular activities. She does basketball training a lot, so she will leave school, go to basketball, come home, then she'll sit down, do homework, we'll do dinner, then we'll get ready for the next day. We'll take our baths, showers, brush our teeth, things like that, lay our clothes out for the next day and start all over. It's all about routine. It's all about schedules. So it's going from one thing to another, but being able to go through one thing to another without help is the key.
I mean, well, right now I ain't working, so I'm here a lot for them. Like, they moms work a lot, so like I get up in the morning, take them to school. I got 2 that be over here a lot. They both go to school, but they're an hour apart, so I would have to get up and get one of them up, like, around 7. Leave the house 7:30, get her there by 7:45, come back, repeat the process with the other one, an hour later. And after I drop him off to school, I try to go to the gym, work out, run around, take a little nap, whatever, eat lunch, get up, and by that time they be getting out of school, and then you got the little after school activities or whatever, depending on what time of year it is or whatever. Right now, basketball coming up, so my son in camp, so I'm taking him up there. My oldest, like I say, he with my mom a lot, and then the other 2, they in Michigan, so I don't see them on the daily, but when they here, like I just had my youngest, which is my boy from Michigan, and I don't got no wife or nothing like that, so when he here, he 5, so I gotta pretty much, he here, he homeschooled in Michigan, but he didn't bring his laptop, so he didn't get to do none of his work the last time he was here, which ain't cool, but he got to see his brothers and sisters, so that's all Mom's concerned with, for real. Like, school will be there.
Right.
I had a lot of family support. So I can say that, and I had my son at 16. So I still lived at home. My father had a good job. So my father put my son on his insurance. So I didn't have that worry. I never had to depend on public assistance. My son basically, and I still had younger siblings, my son basically came into the crew almost like he was one of my siblings. He just was my child. So I didn't have it as hard. My babysitter lived 4 houses down. So on my way to school, I literally carried him from the house 4 houses down, dropped him off, and she was amazing. I mean, she was just a gift. But it still was hard. He had people in his life that have been great to me and my child. In dating, that's something I had to think about. I never dated a person that could not come and make our life better. Like, you can't come and just keep taking from here, because I have a child to look out for. And now I'm much older, I'm on my own, but I have a child to look out for. I'm still from that old school, your child don't get to meet every person that you decide to go out with or get involved with. So you had your things, but I can say that I had a lot of support.
I get up, I log on my computer to work from home usually. I wake my son up. He does his online distance learning. I bring my fat ass down to the kitchen. I eat. And I work for the rest of the day. Usually it's about 4:30 p.m. And then I log off. And then it's adult time.
How important is it to have a support system?
I'm trying to get emotional, but it's very important. I don't know how I became as successful as I did. It was very hard. It was a complete struggle. Everything thing I accomplished was a struggle. Nothing was ever like, okay, this part is going to be easy. Everything was hard. I didn't have anyone. My parents live in DC. My kids, one of my kids' dad lives in Georgia. The other one lives in Mississippi. I'm in California. So it was just me and my kids. So I had to really figure it out every step of the way. It was difficult emotionally, financially. It was just hard.
Right. So financially, let's talk about that. How much you think it costs to raise a child, or even two, monthly?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't. A lot, a hell of a lot, more than I had, way more than what I had at the time.
Is there like, you had to put a number on it? What would you think?
It depends on the age. Like when they're little and diapers, from daycare to diapers and food, it would cost me at least $4,000 just for that, and that's lowballing it really. Just for one, that was just for my daughter. Monthly with the diapers, and the daycare was a big one. That's why I said that support system. That was a big one.
Do you think there's a certain amount that should be paid monthly, or just a certain amount, should I say, that can handle a child?
I wouldn't say there's a certain amount for if a child, because some children require more than other children. For instance, so if your child does no extracurricular activities, obviously the amount would be lower. If your child does extracurricular activities, piano lessons, sports, I don't know, spelling bee, things like that, then of course there would be more costs on the month. You have to pay for uniforms, basketball shoes, soccer shoes, volleyball shoes, shirts. And now for youth programs, you have to pay for them to even be involved. So, I mean, it depends on the child. And I think child support should be assessed after every month. It should be something that, we spent this amount this month. This is what you should pay. It should be like backdated. You know what I'm saying?
Assessed every month. That's different.
It depends on the age of the child. It depends on what the child is into. Some children are into 3, 4, 5 sports. So if you have a child that's on that level and your child is 14, 15 with size 14 feet, his needs are going to be, his or her, are going to be far more expensive than a child that I would say is maybe 5, because their clothes cost more, their activities cost more. But then again, you also have to, the flip side is, if you have a 3-year-old and you're working, they need daycare. Daycare is not cheap. So should both parents contribute to that? Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a good aspect of it, because daycare can run a fortune.
Exactly.
Run a fortune, and as they get older, they get a little more independent and less costly, I would think.
You think they get less costly the older they get?
I think so, because it's more of an optional, like, I gotta go to the movies, or I want to. I'm thinking that the bare essentials, like food, clothes, things like that, they're more self-sufficient. So, most of the time they're not going to be on a schedule every day they're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the house. They might be ripping around with their friends. They might even be around just in general. Like, a child like 7 and below, they cost. Like, you gotta coddle, you gotta everything.
True, but a child that's older, that's running with his friends, you want a couple of dollars in his pocket, because he may not be eating at home while he's, he or she is running around with their friends, but they have to eat somewhere. So now you're talking about takeout or fast food, or, going to the movies. I mean, we all know how expensive it is to go to the movies and just get the bare minimum.
True indeed.
So, it flips, it changes what you're spending it on, how you're spending it. Clothes are generally cheaper for a child that's 2 than a child that's 14, 15. Shoes are cheaper for a child that is this age and then a child that's older.
I definitely see that. I mean, if you had to take a guess though, what would be like a estimate number of cost? You think maybe you might say 600, 300? I mean, just a guess what it should be sufficient enough.
I don't really think you can go across the board like that because children aren't the same. Households aren't the same. My son was not very active in sports, so I didn't have that aspect to go off. I didn't have to deal with getting him this, that, or the other for sports. But I had good babysitters. And, when I had him, so he wasn't really in an institution to be watched. So my costs for babysitting was not the same as if I was taking him to a daycare. We all know we spoil our kids, especially in this day and age. So he had more than what he needed. He had everything he needed, but he had more than what he needed. He had a lot of his wants. But I had a child that didn't want Jordans. He wanted AND1s. You can get them 2 for $89. So he was getting 2 pair of AND1s every school year.
Right.
But that was my child. He was a very simple kid. So I didn't have all of that, but he got sick. So can I just say, okay, 300. Now, if we can sit down and come to that agreement that we will just take care of this child and we can figure that out and we can do it how it goes, as we go along, then we wouldn't need child support. But how many situations do you know where you can say that? Where if my son is sick and he's going to the doctor, now I have a doctor bill that the other parent is going to come through and provide what I need them to provide for what is happening in our child's life now. Can I take that chance? Do I have that relationship with the other parent?
Is there a number you think that's sufficient to take care of a child?
Definitely with age, it differs. Like when they young, not so much, but as they get older and they get into sports or they shoes get bigger, clothes get bigger, stuff like that. So yeah, it'll take more as they get older. But like when they young, I was 300 a month maybe, and as they get older, 4, 5, whatever. But like I say, a lot of the child support cases, and I can only speak on the state that I live in. I don't know too much about, Kentucky or whatever,
What state we at right now?
Ohio.
Okay.
And it ain't, I think that it's more, they more or less attack the male. Like they don't, I've been to court several times, they don't hear me out. I've even been to court with my son's mom, and she told him I tip my hat to her for this because she actually did this. He have him more than I do. They don't care. It's money. I think you gotta hire an attorney. You can't just because they don't let I've heard cases where she can get you took off. She lying. I've actually seen this. She came to court. They want it in court. They wanted to go through court. They want you to hire an attorney and all that. And that's just more money. Obviously, you ain't in a situation to where you can just be spending a lot of money if you're going to court for child support anyway. And you want somebody to get an attorney to come back and fight something that shouldn't even be on you anyway. Is weird. Luckily, I ain't never had to go to jail for it, but I know a lot of people that have, and some of these dudes is good dads.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because I think that's mad wild that you gonna send someone to jail where they can't support, and
Can't look for work.
just once you get in the system, it's hard to get out. Easy to get in, hard to get out. So,
Definitely.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I said, my kid's part of me, how you gonna keep him from me? I give you everything you need, but you got greedy on me. I wear my heart up on my sleeve and you was eating on it. If I don't do you what you want, you put some people on me. I put my back against the wall so you can't stab me. When they put me in them chains, you put that money in your family. Just I heard up on my kids because she won't let them see their daddy.
Like, I ain't never been to jail. I went to jail one time for child support, you know what I'm saying? I learned my lesson ever since that. They weren't playing with me because, you know what I'm saying, I was down bad and like I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? I still mess with my kids, you know what I'm saying? I seen them everything, but the money wasn't coming in like that. But then they like, oh, you got 30 days in jail. Oh yeah, it woke me up. Oh yeah, I woke up. But it's just not, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just not right, you know what I'm saying? It woke me up, yeah. Gave me the chill. Oh yeah, hey, that's the mafia.
I've seen.
They the mob.
It's the mob.
That's the mob, Cali, I'm telling you.
I've seen people get their license suspended for child
Yes,
support.
they tell you to go to work and suspend your license. I mean, which is cool. Like now, if you was acting up and like they've been telling you like get your license, like we're giving you a chance. Now this don't all of a sudden hit. That's how they get me, dude. They took my fishing license. I like to fish.
I'm not talking about. I'm sorry.
They took my fishing license,
Hold on,
Cali.
hold what you got. They took your fishing.
They took my
license?
fishing license. They say, yeah, that's done.
It's a privilege.
Your driver's license, your fishing license, whatever license you have, it's done. It's done.
Okay.
Then you know what I'm saying? They was like, oh, we need 3 straight payments, and then your stuff would be reinstated. What? I'm like, are you serious?
For a fishing license?
For a fishing license. I can't even. I'm out there with my nephew.
Yeah.
He young, you know what I'm saying? If you under 16, you can fish for free. I'm out there with him.
Yeah.
Going off his little punk license. I'm like, oh, he fishing. I ain't fishing. Like, come on, Ed. That's crazy.
I wouldn't have thought, but yeah, I guess so. Anything that's considered a privilege, because driving is considered a privilege.
Privilege.
So I guess
privilege.
fishing would be a privilege.
That's privilege. Yeah, it's privilege. They like, your license gone. Like, I just got my license back straight. Like, it's been years. I just got them back straight. It's been years. And it was all because of this child support stuff.
Right.
I don't agree with the way sometimes that child support handle things. But then again, the situation, they might have been trying to work with him for X amount of years or months or whatever, and now they got his attention. Them taking, you know what, man, it's crazy. I used to buck, I used to buck child support. It was just like, man, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. But I laid in the bed X amount of years ago. Now I'm making my bed, I gotta lay in my bed from the bed that I made, years ago. And if it's the law, it just, I don't win by bucking it. Just do what needs to be done and get out the way. In some cases, some people probably got married and the marriage just didn't work out. But nope, let's go back to this. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, paying your child support, they're not going to take your license. When I'm bucking the system, they took my license. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, yeah. If I have a problem with, and see, there's a lot of guys don't know about how to, I don't want to use the word communicate with child support, but the rules or the law to child support, the modification. I wasn't aware of a modification. I did 10 years in prison without a modification. So when I came home, I'm like, well, how was you charging me $274 per kid and I didn't even have a job? They tell me you were supposed to file for a modification. I didn't know about a modification. Well, that's my ignorance of the law. That's what they basically told me, my ignorance of the law. But, you should have helped me. Hey, we know this man is in prison. Why are we still taxing him $274 when really the minimum, they do it off your wage, which is probably $10 a month, whatever. But they ran it all the way up on me, $70,000 worth of child support.
And again, that just goes to our judicial system, like that. Our judicial, it's not fair across the board, I'm just a little off board, but drug dealers going to jail for thousands of years, and then child molesters going to jail for 2 years. It's the same thing with child support. Like, you're sending these men to jail whose back child support is $1,000, and now they're in jail. They can't get a job. They can't drive to their job. They can't make money to pay the child support. So what's the point of them putting them in jail? It defeats the purpose. Or men who's $20,000 behind and don't have a job or don't do nothing. Like, if child support wanted to be better, they would take these men. Yeah, you're like in jail, but your jail is you have to go to the Job and Family Services and do classes and get a job, and a police officer will escort you to your job and from your job, and like things like that. But you just lock them up and do nothing. That does nothing for the system. Does nothing for that mother. Does nothing for those children, because now the children can't see their father whether he was paying on child support or not. It does nothing. So it's backwards. It's stupid, actually.
Yeah, I think that's extreme. I know earlier I said that me and my daughter's dad had an understanding a little bit later. When I did inquire about child support, the amount that they were willing to give me, I knew for a fact he didn't have. I knew that because I was with him. So I knew he didn't have it. So I was just like, okay. I mean, I didn't even have it. Like, I didn't even have what they were. If he had my kids and the court told me to pay it, I couldn't even afford that. So it was ridiculous. I couldn't do that to him. So I just told him, whenever you can, just try to help out. I know I'm a woman. I know I'm supposed to be like, child support. And I do. I think when it's necessary, absolutely. But do I think some women go overboard? Absolutely. Do I think the system go overboard? Absolutely. Because you're taking that's humiliation. You're going to put that man's, come on. You know what I'm saying? And what kind of motivation is that for him to do anything? That would piss me off. Me just, personally, take his driver's license. How is he going to get to work? That's not motivation. I just think that's a little extreme.
So there's definitely different options they can take.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they'll hunt you down about it too till they find you. They come to your home address like plain clothes. I had to fake dude out a couple times because I knew what it was. I was acting like my brother. I was using my mom's address. Yeah, they relentless when it come to that. But when the tables turn, I don't really see, because there's a lot of absent moms too around here, and that's a whole nother. It's a whole nother deal right there. It's like, man, my kid's mom went to jail, and it would seem that the opposite parent would get custody immediately. Like, that wasn't the case. I went to juvenile court. I told him, hey, she in jail. I need to get custody of him. And by that time, she already did some stuff with paperwork while she was in there, to where she signed over power of attorney to her mother. And this happened like 3 or 4 years ago. So not only did I not get custody of my son, but ever since then, I've been paying her and her mother child support. So for the same kid, I've been paying 2 people. And like me, I ain't never heard of that nowhere. In the United States of America,
doubled up.
You paying 2 people for 1 kid. That, and then I've been bribed out of money. Hey, if you give me this, I'm going to court. I need money for a lawyer. You give me $500. I'll go do everything. I'll take you off. I done got bribed out of sex. Like, I'll take you off. Like, let's just do this, and then I'll take you off. After, like, same old. I never did nothing. Nope. Yeah, a sex toy. A sex toy.
Now your friends all in my business, missing on my misses. I told you about my passion, all my differences with women. Tried to communicate, but you ain't want to see the picture. You was lying, but them niggas, I was lying, but them bitches.
I would say a lot of the times, more often than not, it's about a scorn relationship. Because to be completely 100% transparent and honest, that's why I even inquired about it. I inquired about it before I even asked him, could he help? If that makes sense. I didn't even go to him and say, hey, you know what? I know where this is going on. I just went there just to be just out of spite because I was pissed. So I get it. It makes you mad because you're trying to hurt them, especially when you have someone out of a relationship and they're acting very nonchalant and they're acting like it doesn't bother them. Anything that you can hurt them. Okay, well, I can't hurt you. You're going to see your kid. I can't hurt you that way. Guess what? I'm going to hurt your pockets because that's going to piss a nigga off. Big facts. Like you're going to feel that when you can't have money to eat. You can't have money to buy your own clothes. You can't have money. You're going to feel that. So a lot of times, yeah, we do that. Not everyone. I don't want nobody to be like, okay. But I mean, let's just be real as women. Like we do that a lot of times. That's just being real.
I never used it as a threat. I mean, I was hurt. Most people are hurt, but I'm gonna cry. But I came from a rough childhood, and I know what it's like to go without or not have or not be wanted. And I didn't want my daughter to ever feel that way. So the day I got pregnant, I pledged to be the best parent I could ever be. So that's what I've done.
Outstanding. So you've heard it used as a threat before, or?
Yes. You know, some guys, it's been used as dang near any scenario with the 10 kids that I've had. I've been in it. You know, I've been threatened with child support when I was younger and not handling my business. Of course, I was like, we don't need no child support. Now I'm like, okay, call child support. Call them. You know what? Because when they do their formula, you're going to get less from me than what you would you get from me now, as I'm just giving it to you. You know. And one of my children's mothers, she I guess she didn't believe it, so she took me down. And I said, when they did it, I said, now all you're going to get is $270 a month, and I don't care. I said, now I'm doing what child support says do. Give you $270. I don't have to do anything else. Now you have to fin and prove and make everything else happen after the $270. You know, of course I started doing more, but for a few months, no. I'm gonna give you what the man says give you, because I know it takes more than $270 a month to raise my child. But I wanted to let her, or in a sense, show her, like, yo, you didn't need the law in our business. It was already going good, but because you wanted a power trip and you got mad at me because, hey, you found out I'm in a different relationship. I'm not with you, but now I'm in a different relationship. Now you're mad. So you think you're gonna hurt my pockets, because that's what child support used to do. Child support used to hurt men's pockets until they came up with the formula and evened it out. You know, so now for the men, hey, be careful who you sleep with. Sleep with a woman that has a decent job, so then therefore, if things go wrong, she puts you on child support. The formula is gonna make it fair for you.
Definitely spite. Like, it's out of spite. You're not with the kid, you know, the other parent. Like, it's spite. You hear about him with somebody that you don't like personally, and then it's, I'm putting you on child support. It's, you get threatened so much to the point where you be like, you know what, I'm gonna put myself on child support. Because I'm just tired of hearing about it. I've never had to actually do that myself, but because, like I said, I'm only on it with one, but I used to get threatened a lot. But like I say, stuff got a little bit easier, and in some cases it got harder. It's like, I'm still.
That threat, that
threat
is real. That threat really means something. And, for a person to be like, I'm just going to put myself on child support.
Oh, that's deep.
It's deep, right?
My mom used to tell me and my brother that a lot. Like, man, just do it, because she going to keep hanging that over your head every time something don't go their way. Like, I done pulled up, to some drama. Kid's mom know I don't got a license, so had some words, and then as I'm leaving, she say, you know what, I'm about to call him right now and tell him you driving without a license. And I yell back up there to her like, I got driving privileges, and this is considered child care because I just dropped him off. And then immediately after I said that, she said, she was on the phone with him. Immediately after I said that I had privileges, she said, oh, and he hit me. She So and he hit me. So
it's definitely used as a tool.
oh yeah, yeah. With this individual, yeah, definitely. Like I say, I'm still on it to this day, and he basically he stays with my mom, be over here, and you know he do go back, you know, to his mom or whatever, but you know, as far as where he stay, it's with us.
I've heard of people in relationships, and they'll still put themselves on child support while they're in a relationship. And I asked, I said, well, why would you do that? In case we don't work out, she don't get back child support. I said, that's foul.
That's smart.
It's I don't know how to take it, because it's like you're playing strategically right, but you're not all in with the relationship. I feel like either. Then if you already just in case.
I don't know. I think,
don't know how I feel about
like, I think it's smart. I mean, I really do, because you are protecting yourself. I mean, you're protecting yourself just in case. And we all know, just because you're in a relationship, you're in love, does not mean you're going to stay together for the rest of your life. So if you're not married when you have these children, then protect yourself. Just as you would protect yourself, you said earlier about the guy who says he didn't want any kids. Then he should definitely be using protection. Don't leave it up to the woman. Because once he gets to that point, if there's a slip up, now the control is no longer on your side, because now she can do as she wants. So if you know you don't want any kids right now, don't leave that up to her. Don't let her tell you she's on birth control. You take control of the situation. So I look at that the same way. If you say, I mean, I can, in my son's case, I have a granddaughter. And that was one of the things that I told him. We will be going to child support to get it initiated if it's not initiated on its own. If that is not the steps that they take, we're going.
But why would you feel the need to get involved other people into a situation? Like, as long as he's active, doing what he's supposed to do, and there's a mutual agreement, why would it even off rip in your mind to think, let's just go to child support and put him on?
Because my son was a young father, just as I was a young mother. The person you're with at 19 does not mean that's going to be the person you're going to be with at 70. So you're not married. You have a child coming into this world. I do not want you to be behind the 8 ball 2-3 years down the road. Everything's going well for 3 years, and then you turn around and now it's not. Now, anything that you have given is a gift. So when child support now is entered, because now we're back there at we're not cool anymore, guess who's going to suffer the most for that? My child is going to suffer the most. And he didn't understand it at first. He was like, you're supposed to be on my side. I said, and I am.
I know you probably was like, what?
Right.
Mama.
You know, but trust me, this will be the best thing for you. Why not? You're now contributing to your child's household.
No. I want to say yes so bad, because being in the position of that, like, if someone came and was like, well, I need a DNA test, I'm like, dang, like, I've been with you and only you, like, but with these days, it's not respectful. Like, you need to know. I know too many men that's taking care of a child. I know one man in particular that's taking care of 3 children, and them children not being his. Like, because he was going to be a father. He stepped up to the plate. He did what he got to do. And then, not his child. Like, so you need to be sure, you know, and it is hurtful from the woman, like, hearing that. Like, your feelings are hurt because you were like, well, I've been faithful to you. I've been down for you. I've been, you know, committed to you, you know, this, that, and the third. But At the same time, you got to think from the man perspective. Like, what if I take care of this child for 18 years and on his 18th birthday, it wasn't his, in my Kanye voice, you know what I'm saying? Like that's hurtful for him, you know? Even though, like, now he feels like this is his kid, but by blood, it's not his kid, and that does something to a man or any type of father figure. So it is hurtful for the woman to be asked for a DNA test, but at the same time, it's needed. It's a necessity. Like, you have to know.
Is it disrespectful to ask for a DNA test, or is it more of a responsible thing?
I could say they go both ways, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, now if you even got to question that girl that's not your child, something's wrong already. You already got red flags, so you need to question yourself and question her.
Yeah, that's disrespectful as fuck. That's disrespectful as fuck. I think even if they have a real validity to ask, you know, if they really have, you know, if some shit really going on and they're like, hey, I really want a DNA test, it's still disrespectful. It's still hurtful. It's just hurtful, period. But shit, sometimes it's necessary. I know people done paid child support for 10 years for a kid that wasn't theirs.
Nah, it's responsible. I feel like it should be established from day one anyway. Like when they pregnant, like you getting ready to have a kid, and this who you having a kid with. Nothing disrespectful about that, because that ain't nothing to play with. It's kids out here 21 years old just now finding out who their real dad is. But here it is, 21 years, they done thought that they done learn to love this other dude and respect him as a man. I don't want nothing to do with this other dude now, because that's disrespectful to who I've been calling dad for 21 years. So hell yeah, because Lima is known for that too. Like it's you know, it's been a few cases of that didn't happen. So hell yeah, I'm definitely for that. Like, do it. My mom used to always say that too. Like, and you know, when you have a kid, like, I mean, some cases, like, your mom is the blood test. Like, cause you show up, hey mom, and this girl says baby mom, that ain't yours. Like, off the rip, 2 seconds, no, that ain't yours.
Nowadays, with how the world is, it's not disrespectful to ask for a DNA test. It's just, I think that you should ask for a DNA test. You know, if you have any doubt, because what it's a saying is mama's baby, papa's maybe.
Bing, 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 bing,
you know, so to be safe. And child support has changed, because, you know, if you sign the birth certificate, and I don't know if it has totally changed, but, you know, if you signed the birth certificate back in the day, you don't get any of that money back that you pay for once you find out that the kid's not yours. So it's basically the judge even says, you know, hey, well, that was your ignorance. You know, that's on you. You should have got a blood test. Y'all weren't married, or we were married, whatever, but you should have got a blood test. You know, so it's kind of harsh on the man. You know, you didn't pay all this money or whatever. You didn't pay child support for 10 years, and then you find out it's not yours. They don't make the lady pay you back. Somebody took care of the kid. That's wrong.
Exactly. And
you
I
know,
was going to bring that up. You know, what about the men that find out? You know, 15 years later, but basically, like, shouldn't there be some type of something?
Yeah, but the judge sits there and he'll say, that's your fault. You should have got a blood test. Okay, but I didn't. But she tricked me. She deceived me. She didn't know. However it goes, you know. But that comes back to your responsibility. In the beginning, get a blood test off the drive.
Why is there a need for a system to be put in play for a third party? Kind of gets me thinking, like, is it really about the child? I look at it as kind of like a business, because
it is a business.
Prime example, you brought up, you know, it's not about the pay, but did you know, like, when you work overtime, that's incorporated into your child support of what you pay?
So, yeah, I mean, that's wrong, you know what I'm saying? They shouldn't do that, but at the end of the day, man, it's a white man's world. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's what I think. It's a white man's world, and they gonna tell you what you need to do for your kid and what you not need to do for your kid. But at the end of the day, like, come on, man. Like, you can't, did you see me with my kids? Like, we went to the beach or wherever we went. Like, did y'all see all that? Like, you don't see that. Like, you didn't say, oh, you going to the beach this week, you only can spend, here's $1,000, you got $1,000 to spend. Like, man, come on, you can't tell me what I'm spending on my kids. It might be one week I ain't gonna spend $1 on them, but that next week I might have to come out $300-400 on them. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you telling me every week, like, all right, this is a set amount, no matter what that you're gonna, like, come on, you can't do that. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? A black man, you know what I'm saying? They already killed us. They don't. All right, like, for instance, all right, there's a lot of people out here, you know what I'm saying? A lot of young black women, they dealing with the government. They gotta stay, they dealing with the government telling them where they can stay. But at the end of the day, what they do to the black dads? The black dad can't stay there. You ain't on that, you know what I'm saying? You got a felony or whatever. I don't got no felonies, thank God, but like, you got a felony, you can't stay there. Right. Like, at the end of the day, what is that gonna do? You got to get away. It's breaking up homes. That's why, you know what I'm saying, a lot of, you see black couples, I ain't gonna say couples, but baby dad, baby mom, they broke up. The dad can't even come on. He can't stay over there besides 2 nights once a month. You know what I'm saying? 2 nights once a month, what's that gonna do? Then instead, where you can change this shit and, like, hey, he can stay there. Like, he's his dad. Like, let him, you know what I'm saying? I listen to a lot of Judge Mathis too. He a positive dude, you know what I'm saying? It just ain't right. It's a lot of stuff I see that's not right, that could be changed. And then a lot of stuff will work out way easier. They don't set us up, they set us up for failure at the end of the day.
Say you had 3 children and only one of the fathers was paying. Do you utilize some of that money and spread it equally among all children, or is it specifically used just for that child?
I don't think I would. I don't think that I would be like, okay, this is just your money, you know, necessarily. So every dime of it, I'm going to make sure I'm only spending on you. But I know me as a person, if I had 3 children, all 3 of my children are going to have what they need and what I can work to give them, regardless of what the other fathers are doing. So I would never have it to where, okay, I have one father that's paying child support and maybe my other 2 kids is by another man and he's not paying. So this child is not going to have, or this child is not going to have. That's just not how I'm built. I'm just not that person. So all 3 of my children are going to have. So I can't see there being an issue with me where, oh, you took $40 and bought this child something, but it was my child's child support. You would never know that because this child is going to have what they need. This child is going to have what they need. But I mean, if I go into a store and I have my child support card and I got a cart full of stuff, I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, break this up. This is his. And then put this on another, because I'm going to provide for all 3 of my children.
I think that's what a real parent or a real woman would do. I have run across some men that have spoken on that, and they like, nah, that's for my kid. You know, that make my kids, I ain't got to take care of them. Like, you're not really thinking, like, how do you, first of all, you're going to cause animosity amongst siblings, you know, like, this one has his father in his life, and he always getting picked up, he always getting McDonald's coming back, and this, that, and the third, and he get all the new shoes. They're going to look at it kind of like, you know, have some kind of hatred towards him, because they're missing the part in their life. But they really feel that, nah, just for my kid only. It's for the household, I feel like, to make sure your child is, you know, stable and have everything they need.
Right.
So, I mean, it's an interesting and kind of weird aspect how some people can think. Like, you got to expect that. I don't know how you don't expect that. You know?
Exactly.
Like, how do you not expect that?
Like, don't take $2 and buy this child. I mean, if all of the kids have what they need, now if you show up and your child is wearing, you know, Bobos, and then my other 2 kids are in Jordans, there's an issue there. There's definitely a problem there. But if all of the kids are taken care of and provided for the same, I don't know that a father would ever have an issue with it, because to me, you wouldn't even know what was going on. You just know your child has and your other kids have.
Well, it's hard for me to speak on it because I only have one child, but no, it's not wrong, because she's a single mother, and a single mother has to provide for her children equally. Whether that's his child, or his child, she needs to take care of her children. Whether, he's paying child support, they're not paying child support, they're not paying child support, it doesn't matter. She has to take care of those children. And as any type of grown adult, whether man or female, and you see a single mother with 3 different children, with 3 different baby dads, you shouldn't be able to judge her or talk about her about any way, because she's taking care of her children. She's taking care of her children. And maybe with his money, her money, whose money, it doesn't matter. And you should not want any child to go without, whether that's your child or not. If I'm with you and you have multiple children, but only one's mine, I'm not going to treat my child different than your children. That's very, very unhumane. You want children to see, these are children. They've never done nothing wrong in their life. So that child support might not go to his child directly, but it's helping her provide for electric, gas, water, rent, whatever the needs are. You know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't be sad about that. And if you want to provide for your child on extra, get your child, take your child and do things without those other children. And that's how you succeed that. That's how you go above and beyond. Don't be sad because you're paying money to a mother that's taking care of her children. That's evil of you to feel that way.
Do you spread that money equally among your children, or is it solely used for your daughter?
Absolutely, I spread that shit. You damn right I do. You damn right. Like, if you want something specifically for your kid, like you want her to get some shoes, buy them. Because if you send me $200 and I'm gonna spread it, that's just off top. And I've seen this a lot of times, but that's just off top. I'm gonna spread it, period. And I let them know. What do you want me to do? Like, I know that's not your kid, but with the money you're sending me, your kid is being taken care of too. So it's not like I'm just like, you're still doing your part. I have both of them. I can't just be like, okay, well, your dad didn't do anything, so I'm just, no. But your daughter is gonna get what you sent her, what you sent her to get. I'm not gonna just neglect her, but shit, I have 2 kids in this house. What you thought this was?
Rationed out equally, but the kid that I'm speaking of, his mom, like that's their thing. Like some people, man, they really use the system for like, to get ahead or whatever, or to fill up their refrigerator and their pantry and shit like that. And they really don't. They don't really give a fuck. It's just they just a check to them.
I'm not that type of person, because I know that household. And then if you need to choose to, because what I'm saying, it might be that week. I already done paid child support, but I still came and got my kids, and then we did our own thing out of my own pocket. That's not child support money. So if you need something, I know you got other kids. When I first dealt with you, you had kids. So I don't care nothing about that. Like, you can, if you need to spend it on them, cool, fine with me. I don't have no problem with that at all. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if the other dads would have a problem with that, but I'm never like that. If, say, worst come to worst, one of my baby moms is messing with somebody else. Okay, dude, you in the house. That's part of what come with it. It come with it.
That's a real man.
You know what come with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never got no problem spending money on other kids. You know what I'm saying? And me, I'm just so generous anyway. That's just how I am. It ain't nothing like that. Like, it would never be.
I've been there when I was younger, so I was more selfish back then. I didn't have a big issue with it. I didn't have a big issue with it, but I knew it was going on. But I'm the type of guy, like, I would bring my sons home from picking, like I pick them up and we'll go to the mall and I'll buy them something, I might have them, they come in with 2-3 bags apiece, whatever. But I know that they had other siblings at home. So I'll stop by, I'll stop by Walmart and get 2 basketballs. So when I come in, my kids like, oh, what you get, what you get, what you get? They showing it. Then I'll be like, here's the ball for you. The kids to this day still love me. If I'm bringing my kids home and they have, because we'll go out and shop, we'll get something to eat, and I take them home. Why would I only buy 2 Happy Meals when I know it's 4, total of 2 or 4 more kids in the house? Now that's being selfish of me. The kids won't say nothing to me. They're too young to look at it like, dang, he petty. They're just like, oh, Lante dad came. Lante dad then brought Lante and them home. What y'all got? What y'all got? No, I get 4 or 6 Happy Meals and bring it to everybody. Because that's not, to me, that's not right. The kids, even though those aren't my kids, but the kids didn't have to be there, blah, blah, blah. I know they're struggling over there, so why wouldn't I bring some more Happy Meals? It didn't cost me nothing, but at that time, about $10 more.
That's grown man talking and realization right there. Now, there's always been I wonder what they're doing with that money. You think there should be some type of a system or a card where they can only use it certain places? Or do you have any stories about that?
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely positively think there should be like some type of tracker for the child support. Now, don't get me wrong, I can't say like, hey, I paid rent, gas, electric, and I'm broke, so all I have left is my child support money, which can, vary. I mean, it's really a thin line. You can't differentiate between the two. But I'm a bartender. I worked at bars where I've seen girls come in and be like, oh, get her a drink, get him a drink, me a drink, da 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 da. And then they pay with their child support card. I'm like, okay. Like, that's uneasy. As a mother, I'm like, okay, so, but is your child taken care of? That's what I'm questioning every time you use that card. But again, like I said, like, who's not to say that she spent A, B, and C on her child this month, and this is all she had left. So, I mean, there should be some type of tracker, and maybe child support should go into a bank account for children when they turn 18. So kids aren't starting out in debt. They're starting with $50,000 from child support in 18 years, and they can buy a house, a car, or whatever when they turn 18. I mean, there should be something more to regulate it, though. It shouldn't just be like, hey, let's just give you this money and you do whatever you want with it, because there's a lot of people that doesn't spend that money on their children.
True indeed.
So
I definitely feel there needs to be some kind of system in play. I've never heard of somebody actually seeing it to be spent at the bar. That's
oh yeah, all the time.
That's crazy.
Or they'll bring their boyfriend or guy friend out and pay for their meal. I'm like, with your child support card? Like, oh, you doing it big, sis. I see you. Like, that's hurtful, though, like, at the same time. But at the same time, I don't know what she has going on. So it's a thin line. It's hard to decide.
Definitely, bro.
Getting their hair done and this, that.
Definitely. I've heard people proposing stuff like that, and then I'm definitely with that. Like, it should, just like if you get EBT, you can't use that shit for nothing but food. So it should be the same with child support. Like, it should be what the kid need or what they want. If they get to a certain age and they get to, all them Jordans come out, it should be what they need and what they want, not what she need or what she want. Because they do that. It don't come in it comes on a card and they take the money off. They ain't got to say what they finna do with it or nothing. They ain't got to go buy milk and cereal or no shit like that. You can go to the club. You can swipe the child support card at the club, bro, and get drinks and shit. Yeah, put this. Yeah, you got a tab. Yeah, put it. Man, wow. Yeah. Wow.
I totally agree. Again, it goes back to like some type of counselor or somebody to monitor how is this money being spent, because like you said, some women, they're in the club, they're getting their hair done, they're partying with it. But look at it from the woman's point of view. Hey, I'm the one at home taking care of the kid. I'm paying the bills. Ain't no lights off. There's food in the kitchen. So I took my money to pay for that, and this is the money that I'm just taking it back from there. So how do you? But if you had the old school counselors or whatever, the people that used to go around to the houses, just checking on the kids, they'll be able to see if the kid, his shoes ain't ran down or his clothes ain't got holes in them, or he's proper. I can't tell the lady how to spend the money. But if the kids are ill or not proper, well, now we need to look into this.
So this is my thing on that. If someone's getting child support for $400, they get their money. I don't know anybody that's like, okay, so here's my money, here's the child support. That shit all goes into one pot. Here's my child support money for the month. Here I have $1,500. Here my own money. You know, my direct deposit hit. His child support hit. Now that's $1,900. Okay, let me do what I gotta do. Let me go grocery shopping. Let me pay the bills. Let me get my nail things you normally do. It ain't necessarily coming out of your damn money. This is the house's money. It's not just we're not just living off of your. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's in a pot. So men that think, oh, 400. Okay. So what do you want your 400 to go towards? So you want me to get $400 worth of clothes? Some niggas don't want you to pay the electric. This ain't my, okay, so you want me just $400 worth of clothes? And then your kid can sit here in the dark? Can I pay my car insurance? Because we're not gonna have no way to, come on now. Like, nigga, it's like they wanna pay it, but since they're paying it, they wanna be so, oh, this is my money, so this and no, that's not how child support works. You pay your money, you see for your own eyes that your kids are being taken care of. The state recognizes you're paying your money. That's it. That's where your responsibility stops at as far as monetarily. You can't tell me that if you send me $400, your kid is fresh to death every time you see him. You can't tell me, oh, you know what? I know you spent $25 on your nails. You can't tell me that. It's not fair. As long as it's doing what you're supposed to do, I'm supposed to do with your kids, they have a roof over their head, lights on, necessities, kiss my ass. Oh, wow.
I think there should be some kind of restrictions of what you can buy at least?
No, I don't. Because my thing is this, if you see a woman in a car, in the club swiping her child support card, how do you know that the child support wasn't late and she used that money on her kid and this is the money she's giving back to herself because she already used the money? You don't know, you know what I'm saying? They say that, I saw it on Facebook, they said, don't be using it to buy crab legs. Like, your kids are here. Like, your kids are here. That's crazy. Like, what the fuck do you want? It's like they want you just to buy everything kid, and not do nothing else. Like, I do have these motherfuckers all day. It's not just about the money. Guess what? It's the emotional support. It's the homework. I'm here all day. We're the main ones dealing with the shit. All the bullshit. When they come home from school, we get those energies. We gotta deal with that shit. This is just money. And like I said before, if your kid's taken care of, get the fuck off my ass about it, period. It's a good thing I didn't have child support because I'm gonna tell you right now, my kid's dad would be, he would be like, no. Even when we had the agreement and I said, pay what you can, he was making, he didn't want those problems. Cause I'm gonna let you know what it is, period. Unless you wanna come over here and tag team me out and you want me to pay a month and you come over here and deal with all this and make sure they got clothes and make sure they're taking baths and make sure, we can do that. They don't wanna go for that ride though, so anyways.
Now let's speak about the men who have sole custody. You think there's a stigma for men that ask for child support?
Yeah. It looks weak. It looks like, what the fuck? What are you doing? That's tacky. I can't believe he's asking, you know what I mean? I can't believe he's asking her for child support. He's not a real man. What the hell? It is stereotype. I feel like that too. But it's just that's because it's so not the norm that I'm just like, what? What's going on? But shit, he have every right to get it too.
I feel the same way. I mean, cause you know what I'm saying, this men out here, we always, I ain't gonna say disrespect them, but they just on the low end. Men, they got their kids too. They got to get the money too. But I feel like a man is going to do it in the right way. He's not going to take that money and, oh, I'm about to go get a haircut or buy this or outfit or, you know what I'm saying? Come on, men don't do that. We gonna take that money because 9 times out of 10, I think the man gonna probably hand that kid that money. Like, here you go. This is what your mom sent you. Your mom sent you this money. Here you go. But at the end of the day, you put it on the other one, the mom gonna be like, oh, your dad really, he ain't send you that little bit. That little bit to that kid, man, that'll make their day. I used to roll around with $3, $4 when I was a little kid, 9 years old, $3, $4, and I was happy. I can go in the store, oh, I'm getting this, and I'm going back to the store later, yeah. That $3, $4 is luck, then you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you still got to come around. Them kids want to see you. That's all it's about for real. Them kids want your love. That's all they want. They want your love. They want to be around you. They want to say, Dad, this, call you Dad, this, Dad, that. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Definitely. Do you see a problem with the man asking for child support?
I do not. But I think the man does not get a fair rap. Society does not seem to give the same attention to when the father, it's almost like you a man, you know, figure it out. And then most of us are standing there looking at you like, oh, you asking a woman for her money? But no, the woman does not have the child in her household, and that child needs to be taken care of. So I definitely feel like the woman should provide. She should do her part. That child was made out of two people in a relationship or an understanding or an entanglement or whatever, wherever we going with this, however this started, two people did that.
So we do agree that there is a stigma for men asking for child support.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't think that child support works as hard for the man having the children either.
Definitely. And I, you know, especially like, you know, because I mean, what's different?
True.
Like,
It's
nothing.
supposed to be about the child.
Yeah, ain't nothing.
Responsibility of parents.
Yeah, but taking care of the kid and what you got to do for the kid.
It's a stigma, you know, because it's a stigma because, you know, you got women want to be men, women want to wear the pants, you know, and I'm not saying all women, but you know, they want to be the boss. Okay. And it's a stigma because it's a man thing to me that, like, with my son's mother who came, when my son had came to live with me, I couldn't bring myself to ask her for help because I'm a man. I handle my son, don't worry about it. But do I feel like, you know, she got away with some things? Yeah, but I just looked at it like, you know, I'm a man, I'm gonna handle it. So I kind of have mixed feelings about should men ask for child support. You know, I would say it depends on the circumstance. You know, if the mom's out here, she's deadbeat, she high side and doing this and doing that, but you're not even remotely bringing the kid, you know, some shoes by or buying his school uniforms. Well, you know what? And we can't get along. All right, we'll let the law handle it, you know, and bring them in.
Men are considered weak if they cry. Men are considered weak if they need help. Men are considered weak if they're emotional. There's a stigma with all that. Yeah, people are like, oh, you know, this bitch ass nigga needs child support from her. Oh my God, I thought he had it all. Like, you know, people are gonna say whatever they're gonna say, but at the same time, there's no difference if that was a woman and a man. There's no difference. He's taking care of those children. He's providing for those children. He might need help with those children. He gets one paycheck. This isn't a 2-paycheck household. So he may need help. But absolutely, there's a stigma.
I know we all have those homeboys that we know that they live across the street from their kids and they don't see their kids. It's got to get to a point where we got to let off a fellow brother and know, like, you got to step up. You know, do we still be cool with someone like that, or like, what is an approach to better the situation for the children across America?
Man, you know, I guess I've been fortunate that all of my friends or people that I'm close to, you know, they're loving, nurturing fathers. So they look out for their kids. You know, I'm in the hair business, so I do hear it from a lot of the mothers about such ain't doing this. He a deadbeat that. Then if you ask the father, what's the first thing he's gonna say? She lying, that this, she lying, I do this, I do that. But of course I know the lies. So, you know, I just simply say to those guys, like, man, you know, you got a beautiful son, man. I cut his hair, man. Just, you know, try to be there a little bit more. Or you know what I've even done? I say, hey, you know what? I'm having a father and son day. why don't you bring your son in and y'all get free haircuts? I haven't had a father and son come in yet. And so that's the deadbeat dad that's sitting there lying. I'm not a deadbeat, she lying, da da da. But you come to the same shop that I come to, but you don't bring your son. So I say, hey, you know what? Saturday is a father and son day. Bring your son in, man. Both of y'all haircuts free on me. What happened, man? Man, I went out the night before this. But see, went out the night before. Your priorities or your responsibilities aren't together. But I just told you, you and your son can get a free haircut. Just bring your son in together. He doesn't do it. So those are the deadbeat fathers that I know. You know, I tried a little bit, as much as I can to, you know, ask the fathers to step up or, you know, just say what they're missing, because that's really an easy argument from an outsider trying to tell another man, you know, or try to tell another man how to handle his business. And, you know, some of them are in denial anyway. So they'll be real, you know, they can be real angry about that.
I like how you went about it with the approach, because I mean, you hear sometimes, you know, women say like, y'all don't say nothing to y'all homeboys, this, that, and the third, and it's to a degree you can only say
so much
things before you step on toes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it can get physical, or it can get, you know, to the point where it's like, you know,
you can get disrespectful or anything.
It can get real grimy.
Mm-hmm.
So I like how you made suggestions and involvements, and let's just be real, who not coming for a free cut? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real, who's not coming? But got to be a deadbeat dad who, you know, his priorities. I went out, I was with such, but you could have brought your son in for a haircut for free. You don't never bring him in anyway. Y'all, they frequent the same barbershop. Just at different times. Well, Dad, why wouldn't you bring your son in? And I explained to him, like, yo, that's some bonding time between a man and his son. Bonding, coming in, you know, y'all afterwards. I don't know, am I allowed to say their names? You know, I got a client.
No last name.
Yeah, I have a client. His name is Jerome. He comes in every week, every other week, him and his son come in. But he uses that time that when they leave here, they go to Cupid's or they pick a restaurant. And, you know, they go, or then like he'll make his son like, son, it's your turn to buy our food this week. And it's a little joke. The son would be like, well, we going to Dollar General. He said, oh, but last week you wanted Cupid's, or I took you over here. You want me to spend all my money, but you don't. But then, you know, it's their little funny thing, their fun time. And then now I'm watching them grow. So now the son like, you know, hey, Pops, you want to go out to eat? We can go to Cupid's. You know, now the son is stepping up to pay more than what he was, because he's, you know, father has finally made him see, you know, when it's my turn to buy, you pick the expensive restaurants or wherever, you know, wherever you want to go. But then when it's your turn to buy, you want to tell me we can go get some chips from Dollar General or something, you know. But the growth between the father, but that's their time to, you know. And then they'd be like, don't tell mommy we went out to eat, because then we got to go buy everybody at the house. You know, it's just the little cute little things, you know, and that the deadbeat father is missing.
The men who are active in their children's life and who cannot financially support, baby, get a job, support them children. Be active, get a job, and be a part-time parent. Take that mother to court. Get half custody. Do what you need to do to love and support what you want. Now, if you're cool with not supporting and active, that's fine too. But don't expect your baby mom or your children to be grateful, because I'm telling you, support comes a long way. And then the fathers who's not active in their children's life and pays child support, I have nothing to say to you at all, 100%. Because when them children grow up, they'll know, like, mom was there, mom did that, mom supported me, mom was at every game, mom tucked me into bed every night. They'll know, they'll hate you. So I have nothing to say to you, because you are writing your own story, 100%.
I ain't had no father in my life, so I know how it was, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he was there, but it wasn't consistent. It was every now and then. So I feel it, you know what I'm saying? Then like a deadbeat dad, like, shoot yourself, kill yourself, blow your brains out, nigga. Real talk, that's how I feel. Like, if you don't know your kid at all, like, what kind of shit is that? Like, how you don't know your kid at all? Like, at least try. Now, if you trying and shit don't work, it's different. Cause I got a situation like that, and I can understand the motherfucker. So you gotta You gotta work around them bridges. Like you just told me, you said that court, a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But all niggas ain't got court money like that. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say I don't or do, but I need to step on that path a little harder than what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're right. At the end of the day, man, all your kids, they at least didn't know who you was. They should be able to call you and say anything. Like, oh, this happened at school today or whatever. That's how it gotta be at the end of the day.
You know, you're missing out on your kid's life by not being there. You don't have to, and to me, nowadays, and even back in the day when I was younger, it's not all about money, but you can give your child priceless jewels, which is knowledge, or teach them certain things that will take them, you know, further in life, you know, or how to handle situations, because kids, they learn as they're going, as they're doing it. But if you're the parent and you're there, you're teaching them the right way, how to handle situations, you know, just being interactive in their life. A lot of parents aren't interactive in their kids' lives. You know, they don't hold conversations with their kids, or they don't know how to have dialect like you and I. You know, we're just talking, or speech and debate, however you want to put it. You know, they don't have that. So their kid never really learn how to handle real life situations, or know about real life situations until they're in it, and then their instincts tell them to do something, but their instincts, they're still kiddish. They don't have any knowledge behind it. So that instinct is wrong, you know. So it's not all about money to the deadbeat parent. I mean, try to be active in your kid's life. And then to the deadbeat parent, I mean, but you know, what can you tell a deadbeat parent? Because here it is. So some deadbeat parents, for me, my ceiling or elevation, I don't have a ceiling. I want to keep going. But if I'm a deadbeat parent and I'm on child support is going to pull me down. Child support goes on your credit record. Now, so I can't never climb because I have X amount of dollars on child support. If I want to travel overseas, I can't get a passport because I owe child support. You know, so some deadbeat parent, their level of success or expectations is low. So they don't care about credit or care about being able to travel to see things of that nature. But for the parent, you know, of my nature, if I was a deadbeat, I would tell me, hey man, pay off your child support. You know, pay your child support. Go visit your kid. Now you can, you know, get that car, that house you want, or that car, you know, you can get that loan, things of that nature. That's what I would tell a deadbeat of my stature, if, you know.
What do you say to the men who are not involved in their children's life?
Try not to get emotional, but you're sad. It's a sad, sad situation. And I was told by my son's father that because I wasn't hounding him, or I wasn't saying, you need to do this, you need to do that, that my son probably wasn't his. Because bitches always get to the bottom of the shit. They always want to get the child supporter. So for that reason, he hasn't seen my son since my son has been 11 months. And my son, in October, he turned 13. So it's been 12 years since he's seen his son, right? It's sad. I mean, it's sad for any parent to be absent, you know, but I can't speak on a woman because I'm here. I can only speak on my situation and a father. And it's sad because my son needs his dad. I cannot teach, and I know they say women all the time, oh, I can teach him how to be a man. I can't, because I don't know how to be a man. The only thing I can do for my son is teach him how to treat a woman from my perspective. That's it. I can't teach him how to be a man. I don't know when to tell him to, okay, son, we don't wear the little boy underwear no more. We wear the boxers. I don't know what age. I don't know how to, you know, it's hard for me. And I find myself asking my dad a lot of stuff. I Google stuff because I don't know. I don't know. And these are silent struggles that I think a lot of women fight behind closed doors. Things that's not talked about. You know, you get on Facebook and you see them saying, she can't teach him how to be a man, but what are we supposed to do? I have no choice. I have to try. I'm gonna die trying in this motherfucker, that's for sure. Because it's only me. My son has nobody but me. So I think to the men that are, I don't even know how you wake up every day knowing you got like a son or a daughter out there and you're just going about your life. Like, that's crazy to me. And then you wonder why kids grow up with these are, not to say that they're going to be, but these are our kids that are abusers are lashing out, or these are our girls that are fucking every man that walks by because they don't have that father figure. They don't know what it feels like. So the first man that comes along and say, I love you, they want to marry him and open their legs and do whatever he say. So I got to tell my daughter she's beautiful every day, but once again, it's coming from a woman. It's not coming from her. You know what I mean? So it's hard, and I have it both ways. And my son, he knows how to treat a woman from my perspective. He'll open the door, he'll take the trash out. Things that I know that I saw my brother do growing up. But the men talk, I don't know how to talk to him about it. I don't know which angle to come at him with that. So I sent him to my dad. So it's the next, but it would be nice to have his dad to teach him, son, this is what we're gonna do, son, this is what we're gonna do. But we gotta work with what we got as women.
Is there anything else you wanna say?
Yeah, I do. And this might be kind of controversial, but it's me. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be real. Ladies, if you stop having kids, and I'm not lecturing, I'm talking from a real ass place because I've been there. So I'm talking to myself as well, but I know I ain't fucking with nobody no more. So I ain't worried about it. But stop meeting these guys and it's okay for us to say, you need to put a condom on. It don't always gotta be him. We can say that shit too. Like, you don't want it, just like they say, oh, make sure you pick the right baby mama. Pick the right baby daddy. If that's what because I'm telling you, you get these niggas, you know he don't want to settle down. You know he don't want a kid. You know he don't want to, and then you think that you're special. We not special, baby. We not special. We not. As much as I like to think that I'm special, I ain't fucking special. These niggas are dog me like they're dog the next bitch. I don't care how much money I make, what career I have, what kind of body I have, they will dog me like the next. So look out for yourself. Look out for self, you know? Like, we got to start looking at ourselves too. And stop always saying him. We lay down there too. But we can't stop. Fuck that nigga. Period. Wear a condom. Don't get pregnant. Live your life. Get to know a motherfucker before you have a baby with them. That's all I gotta say. Get to know them, because if you're around someone for long enough, the red flags will show, and then you can pick or choose which ones you want to deal with. I can deal with smoking. I'm not dealing with cheating. I can deal with this. I can't deal with that. It's simple. But that way, you're in the driver's seat of your life. You can pick which ones you want to deal with. You get with a nigga, oh, he cute, he got money, and guess what? That money is his, it's not yours. He don't mind going to rears. He don't give a fuck about none of that bullshit. He not fuck with you, he not fuck with the kid. And now look at you. Other than that, that's it. Still a nation. Was my advice cool?
If you only knew better, how I want to do better. Would you take such a chance?